Hello, welcome to another video of developing AutoCAD plugins using Visual Basic. In this video, we're going to draw the Yin-Yang symbol using 4 helper functions. The first one is to create a circle. The second one is to create an arc. The third one is to create a hatch using a closed boundary. And the fourth one is to create a hatch using a closed entity like a circle, a closed polyline, or a polygon. So getting started, we're going to open Visual Studio, create a new project, and again use the CAD project template. Next, I'm going to call this CAD project Yin-Yang create. Okay, let's start with the first helper function, which is it draws a circle using a center point and radius. So this is the first helper function, create a circle. It takes a center point and a radius. Very simple. Once you add the center point, you add its radius, you can create a circle. Yeah, I know I'm an artist. So we're going to copy this function over here. First helper function, and now the next helper function is a bit more complex. The way it works is you create an arc using 2 points, a radius. You tell it whether your center is on the left or on the right, and you tell it if it's a major or minor arc. Now I'm going to explain this further. So the way it works is you need to give it 2 points, okay? And then you give it the radius. Now, there are 4 ways you can develop this arc, right? So let's say this is one way, and this would be the other way. And now we'll do the same, but for the other side. So we can have the arc, and this is all with the same radius. Or let's say this way. Now, if the center point is on the left, let's say this is our center point, which is on the left of our 2 points connected by a line, then the minor arc will be this one over here, and the major arc will be this one over here. So if I tell it left center point minor, it will be this arc. Left center point major, it will be this arc. Now similarly over here, if it's on the right side, if our center is on the right side, this is our minor arc, and this is our major arc. So depending on that, it will draw our arc. Now in one case where it doesn't matter minor or major is if this is the diameter of the circle. So let's say we have 2 points, and this is the diameter. Then we'll have a perfect circle. So there is no major or minor. You just decide whether you want it drawn on the left or on the right. So I'm going to add this helper function. So this is our create arc helper function. Now the next helper function is hatch interior point. So the way this helper function works is, let's say you have a boundary. You just give it a point inside that boundary, and it will hatch it. I'm going to add the hatch helper function. Now our last helper function works similarly, but you need to select the entity, whether it's a circle or a polyline or a polygon, and it will use the boundaries of that entity to create the hatch. And in addition, these hatch helper functions also take in the hatch type and the hatch color. So now I will add the final helper function. I will add it here. Now we have all our helper functions. So the next step is to talk about our main function. To be able to draw the yin-yang using the helper function, what will happen is in the first step, we're going to draw a large circle, and then we're going to draw 2 smaller arcs, like this. And then we're going to draw two smaller circles, one over here and one over here. So the next step is we're going to start hatching. Now we'll pick a point inside here and inside here for the boundary hatch. So let's say we pick this one over here. And then for the other side, we'll also pick an interior point and it will hatch it. And for the last step, we're going to pick the smaller circles and hatch inside the smaller circles. So we'll pick this circle and hatch it. And we'll pick this circle and hatch it. And that way we have drawn our yin-yang using the helper functions. So I'm going to add that the main function right now, and we're going to test it. So this is the main function. I'll add it over here. Save. We have an error, but I don't think this error is going to make a difference. I'm going to save and launch. Okay, I'm going to open a new drawing and I'm going to load the file. So type net load, then we look for our project. We called it CAD Yin-Yang, then debug, and this is it. So I think our command is draw Yin-Yang. And you can see it drawn over here. Now this is just an example, but you can use this for to draw many different types of shapes. And now, you know, so far you've learned how to add lines, draw polylines, draw circles, add hatches. So you can create many different types of complex shapes. So I just wanted to ask you guys, you know, comment if you find these functions useful, and also please share what you are working on. If you have any, you know, exciting projects, anything exciting you're doing in AutoCAD, please share. And also, if you would like to see me cover a certain topic or solve a certain problem, please let me know. And again, thank you guys for watching.